across the Made Television Network and Pride Radio. This is Made with Pride.
Out and proud around the world.
Here we go, folks.
Peter Darrant.
Pride Radio.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to Hashtag Made with Pride TV with me, Peter Darrant. Delighted to have you company. Lots and lots of gorgeous messages coming in for the Albert Kennedy Trust there, for Darrell Taylor. Do go on the website at the end of the show. Support them, or if you need their help and support, it's a great resource to go to. Right then, folks, it's time for some West End loveliness coming to you now. I'm very excited. Boys in the Band is about to go back into London for a couple of weeks. If you don't know the film, where have you been all your gay lives? It's one of the most important films next to The Wizard of Oz. Let me tell you the premise. There's a party about to commence where 9 people gather in a New York apartment for a birthday celebration. Harold, a self-confessed Jew fairy, receives a surprise birthday gift. A beautiful male hustler dubbed cowboy. Wait till you see the Pix Boys. Meanwhile, party host Michael gets an unwanted surprise of his own in the shape of a figure from his past. As the booze is drunk and the dope smoked, the mood swings from hilarity to heartbreak. Let's take a quick look at some celebrity endorsements.
It's funny, it's sharp, and shocking.
There were very few pieces of theatre around that time that dealt with gay life.
It's incredibly powerful. It's incredibly sharp and brilliant and funny and truthful, I would say.
It was an extraordinary evening and a great bunch of actors doing a really extraordinary play. I had no idea this play was as old as it is, you know. It's almost as old as me.
What I am, Michael, is a 42-year-old ugly pockmarked Jew fairy. If it takes me a while to pull myself together, and if I smoke a little grass before I can get up the nerve to show my face to the world, it's nobody's goddamn business but my own. And how are you this evening?
Let me tell you your love. Keep on lifting me.
There you go. I tell you what, that's a starry cast, isn't it? And to tell me all about it is the star of the show, Ian Hallard. Hello, Ian. How are you?
Hello there. I'm very well, thank you.
How was your meal, love? Because last time we talked, you were going out.
Yes, it was very pleasant. Yeah, we're just having a little after dinner aperitif. No, aperitif, that'd be wrong. A little after dinner.
I tell you what, you've been on the fizz. It sounds like there.
We've had a couple of glasses.
Good. Right. For those who don't know, tell us about the boys in the band. I've kind of quickly run through the story there, but I'm sure there's more to it than that.
I heard. Yeah. Which celebrities were endorsing us?
Oh, you had David Tennant, you had Graham Norton, you had Simon.
It was all from the press night when we were last in London.
Yeah. So...
well, it's kind of seminal gay play, really. It was written in 1968, so it's nearly 50 years old, but it's still incredibly funny and dramatic and moving, and it's really kind of important piece of gay theatre, really.
It is. I mean, especially as we come up to LGBT History Month as well in February, it almost seems like it's been perfect planning. Was that the intention, or was just the theatre free in February?
No, well, our original run was back in October last year. Then we did a little tour around the UK in November. And it was basically just because it sold so well in London that we then the producers decided to take it into the West End. We had this opportunity. So just sort of serendipity that it happens to be Gay History Month in February.
Now, you play the part of Michael, and I've been sort of like teasing this, that I've got a connection with this show because I used to be personal assistant to Kenny Nelson, who on the original stage play played Michael, and in the film, and we lived together for 18 months in London before he passed away, sadly. So I know this play, and I know the cast that were in it. But and you play the role, so there you are. The world is full of synergies.
That's fantastic. What a connection.
It really was, at its time, a shocking piece of theatre. We watch it now and we just sort of like can smile and laugh, but at the time, this was groundbreaking.
Yeah, well, it was the first time that gay characters appeared on stage. I mean, previously, which is one of the reasons that Mark Crowley actually wrote the play, and Mark, who's in his 80s now, but he's still with us. It was as a result of an article in the New York paper, which basically said, how come the three greatest contemporary playwrights, although weren't mentioned by name, were Tennessee Williams, Edward Albee, and the other one. And why don't they write about gay characters? They're always female characters who are kind of coded as gay, or they're straight characters who are kind of got in a turmoil. And so Mart picked up the baton and ran with the challenge and decided to write a play where you actually saw 9 gay men on stage for the first time. And it was shocking and groundbreaking. I mean, that video you've just watched, Simon Callow came along to our press night, and he saw the original production when it came over here, and he said the most shocking line was the line about masturbation, just because you didn't hear you'd never heard the word masturbation on stage before. I'm assuming I can say masturbation.
You can. You've said it 4 times, so if Ofcom comes along, I'll just send the fine to you. But I mean, how is it extra relevant now, this play, when you take everything that's going into account in the States, certainly in Russia? We've just been talking about the rise in homophobic attacks, 147% in the UK since Brexit. I mean, can you politicise this play in the current world, or should we just sit back and watch it as a piece of entertainment?
Well, I think you can do either, and I think that's the whole thing of it. I mean, I think sometimes gay theatre is required or held to a higher standard than other forms of theatre, because it has to be relevant in somehow. And how can a play that was written 50 years ago speak to a modern audience? And I think on the one hand, I kind of think that's kind of irrelevant. It's a brilliant play. It's funny. It's moving. It's dramatic, and it's about people. And actually, in one respect, the whole sort of gay thing is kind of irrelevant. I mean, lots of audiences came out just kind of being moved by the characters and the journey that they went through. However, on the other side, actually, I think it's supremely relevant, and all the themes that the play brings up, racism within the gay community, effeminacy, and how effeminate gays and camp gays are treated by other gay men, issues about monogamy. There's Hank and Larry, the couple in the show, are having this constant battle about how they negotiate their relationship. So that's all completely relevant. There's addiction issues. My character Michael is a recovering alcoholic, and the kind of the chaos that's wrought in the play is a direct result of him falling off the wagon during the course of the evening. And addiction issues generally, and the drugs might be different, but nowadays, chemsex or whatever, it's that those things are still there, and I think you could kind of argue, well, it's a result of society still, and of course, God, things have improved so much, and it's amazing the achievements we've made. But I think it's always worthwhile, especially just in this past week.
Well, we're only one vote away from having them taken off of us.
Exactly how those things are rescinded just at the stroke of the pen.
So you're making a bit of West End history, because you're playing opposite hubby, and that's the first time that's happened on stage. What's that like? I mean, do you do the "you went over my line to like love," or are there little rows when you get home?
We don't. We because Harold and Michael, the characters, have such an antagonistic relationship. I think if there were any tensions, we'd get that all out on stage, really. No, it's been lovely. It's kind of amazing. Obviously, I hadn't realised that. It didn't occur to me that we would be making history in that way, which in itself is brilliant. But yeah, everyone's been kind of saying, "Oh, how is it? Is it a problem with working together in that way? How do you do it?" And honestly, it's a complete joy. We just keep saying, "Well, we do like each other."
Well, that helps, doesn't it?
And because the nature of the work we do, often there are periods of time where we're apart for a while. So actually, last autumn, being able to kind of spend all day in a rehearsal room and then spend the evenings together and everything. Although, I mean, because he basically has the whole of the first half off, he doesn't appear till just before. I'm out there doing all the hard work. So actually, once the show's up and running, I don't see very much of him other than on the stage.
So when you get home now and he's listened back on this, so you do all the hard work, do you? Oh, there's the huffy bed for you, love.
No, he's quite happy admitting that. Even now, case in point, we've been out for dinner. He's in there having his sherry in there, and I'm the one doing the work, doing the promotion for the show.
Well, we're coming to the end of this little pitch. Just one very quick question. Jack, the cowboy, is he single?
Yes.
Is he looking
He's
for a
not.
bear?
No, he's got a lovely girlfriend, I'm afraid.
Right, I'm bored of him already. So,
Sorry to disappoint you, but yeah, I genuinely did not ask for this, but I was placed in a dressing room with him for the entire run last October. Whenever we moved from venue to venue, I was always in the same dressing room as Jack.
it's a hellish life
It's
that you
really,
live, you
it's really
actors.
hard. Although apparently he's pigged out over Christmas, so he's been on a very strict diet, getting back into shape.
Well,
ready to go off that torso for the new run.
I've laminated the pictures, so they're going to keep me happy at night. Yeah, man, we don't need to plug the show because I'm sure it's going to be a sellout, but it's at the Vaudeville for 2 weeks from the 7th.
It is, yeah, only 15 performances, so don't get too blasé about, it's going to the West End, we'll have a load of time to see it. Because of cast availability and the length of the run that the theatre was available for, it's only 15 shows, so yeah.
Well,
get in
have
there if you
a great show. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you so much for stepping in. I wish we could talk longer, but it's going to be fantastic. So it opens next week, so enjoy your night. Thank you for joining us.
Cheers.
Cheers. There you go, the gorgeous Ian Hallard there, having a little sherry. He was lovely, wasn't he?
It was very nice.
Have you seen the pictures of the cowboy?
I haven't, but
You
I'm
need
sure
to
you'll
go on
show
our
me them in the
Facebook
break.
page. My God, you know, tiger, yeehaw, he could ride me rodeo around the bedroom, I say no more. Folks, we're coming to the break. Join us in a couple of minutes where David's going to take us for a ride in his love tunnel. To take us there on Pride Radio, one direction, one way or another. We shall see you in a couple of minutes.
Across the